So this is Aflac Duck. Now, those of you in Australia may not be as familiar with this, but I'd love to get this across your desk because this is a hero asset. And if you look at the commercial outcomes from this campaign, which was launched in, I think it was 2000, is totally phenomenal. So let's have a look at the original from Aflac Duck.
The science of advertising.
Well, when I got hurt in this work, glad I had supplemental insurance.
Supplemental insurance? What's that?
Aflac.
Well, even the best insurance doesn't give you cash to cover things like lost pay, other expenses. This does.
What does?
Aflac.
Shouldn't ask about it at work.
Really? And what's it called?
Aflac.
Aflac. Ask about it at work.
Aflac.
So like this ad, this brand, they spent a decade on large, medium, big budgets trying to build awareness, and they couldn't increase their awareness beyond 6%. It was flat. They dropped this ad and all metrics blew up overnight. Like I've got a few here, which I just want to share with you. Like, so annual premium sales increased 28.5% in Q2. So as soon as it launched, nearly a 30% increase. A record 168 million in sales that quarter alone off the back of this ad. The whole game changed, and they've been running this for nearly 20 years. Now, Mikey.
Yeah.
What's your view of this ad? Because I don't think you were familiar with it, but like
no,
first
I wasn't.
impressions.
I mean, you know, this is a dream scenario because nobody else can have a duck speaking other than, you know, an animation from Disney, you know, or something. But so it's incredible. From a neuroscience point of view, it is repetition in one, is it 15-second spots or 30-second spots? I felt like it was 6 times at least. So I've got this word, I'm new to it, and I already remember, I can tell you the brand name.
So their biggest challenge was no one could recall their brand. It was really hard. And it was two creative directors actually sitting in New York.
Yeah.
And they were looking at a duck and they're just like, how about we use a duck to say our name, and we say it a lot, and that'll actually turn into a hero asset rather than our biggest challenge.
Yeah.
Well, and I think it's the way I read it was that one of the creatives went for a walk and went through Central Park and saw this duck and sort of heard that and went. And it's actually one of the great things that you have to think about as a creative is that the idea doesn't always come sitting at the desk. You know, there's all of these processes that we build into creativity to actually force ourselves out of that space so that we can do, yes, we do our research and yes, we immerse ourselves in a brief, but then you have to then step away from it. And often it is the thing like the walk where you stumble onto that little real life thing that you couldn't have possibly anticipated. I saw this ad and thought immediately, this ad can only happen in the United States.
It's kind of true.
Right? Yeah. I can't think of an Australian ad that feels like this.
Yeah.
And it reminds me a little bit of the Budweiser
Why
ad.
do you think that is?
I don't know. I think there's I don't know, is it courage?
Maybe it's a suspension of belief that we sometimes take ourselves a bit too seriously and can't push through that imagination barrier.
Yeah. And I just think there's a particular New York style to this that just is quite prevalent in a lot of those great memorable US campaigns. And I go back to the Budweiser campaign, it's a very similar concept, right? Where you have the frogs saying the brand name over and over and over.
Well, and this is what, like, I love US advertising because they're bold, they're courageous, they've typically got a bigger budget as well, but they're so well thought out. And I look at this, in the ad, they actually bring up problems with other insurance companies, but Aflac is the solution every time. And from an audience, you're not even aware of these problems with insurance. So they're actually being the agitator, but then there's solution that's very memorable as well. But it's just so simple and it's elegant and memorable. And this is why these campaigns, it's not a brand campaign. This is where I'd go, this is a branded performance campaign. They've done both. Like Bupa, it's all brand.
It's all top of funnel, right?
It's no...
And you've got to say LSD and marijuana, it's a great thing for creatives.
Can we talk about the bike accident though? Because that's the thing that just...
I didn't even see a bike accident.
That's what's... So this, I just love this because I think this is an ad from, I think, 2000. And it's so now because, you know, the thing we always do now is, again, hook me in the first 5 seconds. And you have this great moment right at the beginning of the spot where this guy goes over the bars behind them and they clock it, but we don't talk about it. He never shows up again.
Yep.
We're watching the whole ad. He doesn't walk in on crutches. There's no gag payoff, but it's just such a great hook in an ad that's 26 years old. I think that's great.
It is. And if you're looking at the science behind it, like your brain actually is wired for recognizing faces and agents. It's older, it's faster, it's more reliable than other circuits we use for logos and text. So when we put the Aflac Duck on TV or video, they weren't just being funny, they were hijacking parts of the brain that you use to recognize people you've met before. So that's why a single exposure to a character can outperform 50 exposures to a logo. So you don't decide to remember a face, you just do. And that's where we were showing before Ipsos. Characters and audio are incredibly powerful because that's how our neuro has been wired to recall and retain information.
Yeah, and you think about like owning a particular assets for your brand. The duck, I'm pretty sure it'd be very hard, like I said before, to bring another duck into another brand without people thinking about Aflac.
You can't, but this is where I'm really curious to get your view, Andy. Like the US do this. You go like Geico, Gecko, you've got Progressive with Flow, you've got, the US are really good at building characters, but having this brand response style, like it's still building brand, but they drive performance rather than just creating great brand ads. So like, I'm just curious, like what's the difference in culture?
I wonder if Australia has forgotten how to do that. Because certainly we did it for many, many years, right? If you think back to, again, that what I think of as the heydays of Australian TV advertising, you had characters like Rita the Eater Eater, you had Dr. Julius Sumner Miller on the Cadbury ads, you had these people who became consistent characters who appeared in consistent ads over time, let alone if you think about something like the Nescafe Blend 43 campaign that ran through the 90s into the early 2000s, where you built a long-term story over the course of, I think it was 5 or 6 years that campaign ran, and we were always wondering, would Roy and, I can't remember the female lead's character name, would they get together? So we have it in us to build characters. We just don't seem to do it as often these days.
And I think Americans, look at the film industry, they're all about number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. It just carries a theme through and a hook through. And there's just a sense
franchise.
of, the franchise kind of idea. And I think from a branding point of view, it's wonderful. This is a franchise. The duck, I want to see the film of the duck singing. I want to see the duck sing AHM even, but it won't.
So like if you look at like distinctive brand assets, like most brands have one distinctive asset. Aflac built 2, like the character and also the sound, both. So incredibly clever. It's why this has run for 20 plus years and they have built a phenomenal business off the back of it.